Welcome back, everybody, for another deep dive. This time we're going exploring AI quantum computing stocks.
Oh, very interesting.
Yeah, we found this article. It's from the Motley Fool,
Okay.
and
Familiar with them.
yeah, they're pretty reputable financial services company. So, we can at least trust that they're coming at this from
Right. They're not just like
yeah.
some fly-by-night operation.
Exactly. And this was published pretty recently, February 4th, 2025.
Okay.
So just, about a month ago.
Still fresh.
Still fresh. And I thought this was really interesting because they suggest that there are two companies that could really see their stock prices soar this year.
Oh, wow.
IonQ and Alphabet,
Alphabet.
which is, Google's parent company. So,
Right.
so that's kind of an interesting pairing right there, right off the bat. But I think before we, dive into the stocks themselves, we need to kind of understand what makes these companies so special.
Right.
And that all starts with quantum computing.
Quantum computing, yeah.
Which is, what they're banking on. So
Right.
can you give us just like a quick jargon-free explanation of what quantum computing is?
Sure. So quantum computing is essentially leveraging the principles of quantum mechanics
Okay.
to perform calculations that traditional computers simply can't do.
Wow.
You probably already know the basics, but what's really captivating about it
Yeah.
is the sheer scale of the advancement.
Yeah.
Take Google's Willow chip, for instance.
Okay.
It recently completed a complex calculation in a mere 5 minutes,
Uh-huh.
which is a feat that would have taken a conventional supercomputer 10 septillion years.
10 septillion years.
Yeah.
That's longer than the universe has existed.
Exactly.
Like, what kind of doors does that open up?
I mean, it's insane.
Yeah.
It's a whole new world of possibility.
Yeah.
It could revolutionize fields like medicine.
Oh, wow. How so?
Well, imagine being able to simulate complex molecules
Okay.
so that we can design highly targeted drugs, or even urban planning,
Okay.
where we can optimize traffic flow in sprawling megacities.
So basically anything that requires like massive
Computational power.
Yeah. Right.
So these are just a few examples, but you can see how groundbreaking this technology is.
Yeah. No, that definitely paints a clearer picture of why there's so much buzz around it.
Right.
But you did mention some challenges earlier
Yeah.
with quantum computing.
Of course, it's not all smooth sailing.
What are some of those hurdles?
So one of the biggest challenges is that qubits.
Qubits.
Yeah, these are the building blocks of quantum computers.
Okay.
They're incredibly fragile and prone to errors,
Oh, wow.
and they need to be kept at ultra-low temperatures,
Like how low are we talking?
like close to absolute zero
Gee.
to function properly.
Wow. So this is not like something you can just do in your
No,
barn.
definitely not a DIY project.
Okay.
And then there's the challenge of quantum entanglement. This is how these qubits interact with each other to perform those calculations.
Okay.
It's incredibly complex, and we're only just beginning to understand how to harness it effectively.
So it's like we have this amazing potential power,
Yes,
but we're still
figuring out
figuring out how to really
wrangle it
exactly.
and control it.
Yes.
Okay, so it sounds like while the potential is huge, there's still a lot of uncertainty,
Absolutely.
which kind of sounds like investing in these companies at this stage.
Yeah, it's a gamble,
It's a bit of a gamble.
but with potentially huge payoff
Right, huge payoff.
if it pays off.
Yeah, exactly. So let's look at IonQ,
Okay.
which the article calls a high flyer.
High flyer.
Their stock has surged over 275% in the past year,
Wow.
which is pretty incredible.
That is incredible. 275%.
Yeah. So what are they actually doing that's driving this growth?
Well, IonQ is entirely focused on developing and commercializing trap-dying quantum computers.
They're investing heavily in building more stable qubits and developing algorithms
Okay.
that can run on their unique architecture.
So they're really all in on this one particular approach.
Yes, very much so.
Okay. Is that a vulnerability though?
Well, it could be.
What if somebody else comes up with?
Right. What if another company develops a more scalable or commercially viable approach?
Right. What if their qubits are more stable or something like that?
Yeah, that's definitely a risk investors need to consider.
Okay.
IonQ brought in $12.4 million in revenue last quarter,
Okay.
which is a 104% increase year over year.
Wow.
But
It's a big bet.
a tiny fraction of what established tech companies generate.
So they're growing fast, but from a small base.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
What about their profitability?
Not yet.
Okay.
They're spending about $30 million per quarter on research and development,
Wow.
which led to a net loss of over $52 million last quarter.
Ooh.
So their success hinges on achieving major breakthroughs in their research.
Which, as you were saying earlier, is inherently unpredictable.
Exactly.
So with IonQ, it seems like we're talking about this classic high-risk, high-reward scenario.
Yes, very much so.
They could be the next big thing, or they could fizzle out.
Right.
It's a bet on the future of their specific technology.
Exactly.
But what about their financial stability, though? Can they afford to keep burning through cash like this while they wait for that breakthrough?
That's a good question. And that's where things get a little interesting.
Okay.
IonQ has a healthy cash reserve of $365 million.
Okay.
And very low debt, just $18 million.
So that gives them some breathing room.
It does. It gives them some time to continue their research
Right.
without that immediate financial pressure.
So it might be enough to see them through to profitability.
It could be if they can deliver on their promises.
Okay, so they have some time to make things happen.
Yeah,
But it sounds like investing in IonQ is not for the faint of heart.
definitely not.
It's a gamble on a company betting everything on this single unproven technology.
Right.
But what about a more established player like Alphabet?
Okay, yeah.
How are they approaching this space?
Well, Alphabet's a giant in the tech world, right? They've got
Right.
like a super diverse portfolio.
Right, like you said, they're not putting all their eggs in one basket.
Exactly. They're leveraging their vast resources and expertise in AI and cloud computing
Yeah.
to explore the potential of quantum.
Right.
Remember that Willow chip we talked about?
The one that did the calculation in 5 minutes?
Yes,
That would take a supercomputer 10 septillion years.
exactly. That was Alphabet.
It was Alphabet.
Okay,
That just shows their progress.
right,
But what sets them apart is their financial stability.
right. They've got so many other things going on.
Exactly. Unlike IonQ, they're not relying on quantum computing to survive.
Yeah, they've got Search, YouTube, Android, Google Cloud.
Tons of stuff.
All those things bring in tons of money.
Exactly.
So even if quantum doesn't work out, they're fine.
They're fine.
Their core business is super strong.
Okay.
Their financials are rock solid.
Give me some numbers.
$340 billion in revenue
What?
and $94 billion in net income
Wow.
just in the past year.
That's crazy.
That makes them a much less risky investment.
Right, compared to IonQ.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, so it sounds like Alphabet is playing the long game,
Yeah.
gradually integrating quantum into their existing stuff.
Exactly, and exploring its potential
Right.
across their various applications.
Okay, so they're not like
They're not all in.
all in on quant.
They're being more strategic.
Right.
They're exploring quantum applications in drug discovery, materials, science, even financial modeling.
It's more about like weaving it in.
Yeah, weaving it into their existing business.
Right. Okay. I want to come back to something you mentioned earlier.
Sure.
You talked about the real-world impact
Right.
of quantum computing.
Yeah.
The article focuses on like the money,
Right, the financial side.
but what about like the actual impact?
The real-world applications.
Yeah. You mentioned medicine and urban planning.
Yes.
Can you like elaborate on that?
Absolutely. So imagine a world where we can use quantum computers to simulate complex biological processes at the molecular level.
Okay.
This could lead to highly targeted drugs
Okay.
with fewer side effects.
That would be amazing.
Personalized medicine
Wow.
tailored to an individual's genetic makeup
Okay.
and even potentially curing diseases
Oh, wow.
that are currently incurable.
That's huge.
The game changer.
Curing incurable diseases.
Exactly.
Okay, what about other fields?
Oh, there are so many possibilities.
Yeah, you mentioned urban planning, but what else?
Material science.
Okay.
We could design lighter and stronger materials. Everything. Aircraft smartphones.
Wow.
Renewable energy.
Oh, okay.
We could develop ultra-efficient solar panels.
That capture more of the sun's energy.
Exactly.
Wow.
Financial modeling, weather forecasting,
All revolutionized.
all with quantum algorithm.
It sounds like we're on the cusp of something huge.
It really does.
But let's not get too carried away.
Right.
We talked about the challenges, too.
Absolutely.
The fragility of qubits, quantum entanglement.
Those are real challenges.
Yeah, and we're still early stages.
Very early.
We can't predict when these applications will be real.
It could take years, even decades.
Okay, so we need to be realistic.
Yeah, temper our excitement.
Right, but even if it takes decades,
The potential is there.
the potential is huge.
It's worth paying attention to.
Yeah, I think this deep dive has been really insightful.
Me too.
IonQ and Alphabet are definitely companies worth watching.
I agree.
They represent two different approaches.
Yes, IonQ is high risk, high reward.
Right. Betting on their tech.
Alphabet is leveraging its strengths to integrate quantum.
Right. Okay, so the choice to invest
Depends on your risk tolerance.
in your investment strategy.
Exactly.
But what I find really captivating is the potential of quantum itself.
It is fascinating.
It feels like we're unlocking something revolutionary.
It really does.
It really does feel like a new era, like we're standing at the very beginning of something.
Yeah, like a paradigm shift almost.
Yeah. And it's not even just about like faster computers.
Right. It's about like fundamentally changing what's possible.
Exactly. Like what could the world look like?
I know. It's crazy to think
Once quantum computing is like,
fully realized.
yeah, like full potential.
It's mind-blowing.
Imagine cities powered entirely by renewable energy.
Yeah.
Personalized medicine tailored to like your DNA.
Wow.
Or even just being able to design new materials
Yes.
that have properties that we can't even imagine right now.
Yeah. It's a future that's both exciting and a little bit scary.
Yeah.
We're talking about technology that could completely reshape society.
And that brings up a good point that I wanted to touch on.
Yeah.
We've been talking about the technology and the investment potential.
Right. The financial side of things.
But what about like the ethical considerations?
Oh, that's huge.
Quantum computing brings up all these questions.
Yeah, about privacy, security, even the potential for misuse.
Like, what if it gets into the wrong hands?
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like any powerful technology.
Right.
There's always the risk of unintended consequences.
Yeah.
So we really need to be having these conversations now
Yeah.
as quantum computing develops
So that it's used responsibly and ethically.
for the benefit of everyone,
Right. Not just like,
not just for profit.
yeah.
They're for like,
nefarious purposes.
exactly.
Yeah. It's a reminder that technological advancements shouldn't come at the expense of human values.
Absolutely. We need to be mindful of the risks
Right.
and work to mitigate
While
them.
also embracing the opportunities.
Okay, so for our listeners who are now like totally fascinated by quantum computing,
I hope so.
what's the best way for them to stay informed?
There are tons of resources online.
Okay.
Reputable science publications, university websites.
Yeah.
Even technology-focused podcasts.
Like ours.
Like this one.
Okay, so just stay curious and keep asking questions.
And don't be afraid to
To dig in.
to dive into the technical details.
Even if you don't have a scientific background.
Right,
There's plenty of stuff out there that's explained in a way that anyone can understand.
right.
The more you learn, the better equipped you'll be to participate in these conversations.
Exactly.
Because quantum computing isn't just for scientists and engineers anymore.
Right, it's going to affect all of us.
It really will.
Okay, well, this has been an amazing deep dive.
I agree.
I feel like I've learned so much,
Me too.
and I hope our listeners feel inspired to continue exploring the quantum realm.
Yeah. Keep learning, keep exploring.
It's a world full of possibilities,
It really is.
and it's one that we all need to understand.
Absolutely.
All right, well, on that note,
Yeah.
we'll sign off for today.
It's been a pleasure.
It has been. Thanks for joining me.
Of course.
And for all of our listeners out there, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep diving deep.
See you next time.
Bye.